Okay, let's not waste time. Let's get straight into it. First question I get asked the most: does pausing the game stop the in-game timer? Yes, it does. Yes, 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 yes. Whether you're on PC or console, pausing the game does stop the in-game timer. The only thing that you have to worry about is that if you're in your inventory as Grace or Leon, or if you are looking at your map, or if you are in Leon's stash. In those particular sections, the in-game timer will not pause. But if you were just in the pause menu itself, so for me it's the escape key, it will pause the in-game timer. Now, does watching cutscenes stop the in-game timer? Yes, it does. But you'll see most of us that the reason why we skip cutscenes is just because it's more for real-time action. So instead of adding an extra hour of me having to sit here, I'll just skip all the cutscenes to make the run even faster. Simple, easy. All right, next question I get asked very frequently as well too is, if I mess a part, can I reload a save to save time, or will it continue my time? Yes, you can. You can reload the save and it will revert back to whatever time of the save was. So for example, if you save it at 45 minutes and you go 20 minutes and you're at an hour and 5 minutes, and let's say you accidentally use a heal, if you're going for a no heal run, or if you accidentally use a blood collector, you can go back to that previous save for the achievements. Now, if you're actually doing like legit speedruns, you won't be able to do that to submit to the leaderboards. But if you're doing it just for like achievements, yes, you can reload previous saves. It'll keep the time of the previous save, as well as if you have not used a heal, blood collector, etc. The next question I get asked a lot is, do I need to learn the skips? Yes, and also no. You don't have to. So for example, if you're just doing Speed Demon, you don't have to. It's the reason why I don't include them in my videos and the guides, is I didn't want people to have to learn tech. Like, I know I saw comments of people being like, hey, why didn't you include this skip? Or by the way, at this particular part, you can do this. I didn't want to have anyone learn the extra text, so I just simply didn't do it. Now, if you're going into speedrunning and you're trying to get the best time as you possibly can to upload it into speedrun.com for, to climb the leaderboards, then yeah, you're probably gonna have to learn the skips, but at the same time, you still don't even have to do it, just because if you're just going for like your personal best records and you're just trying to beat your own time and you don't want to have to learn that, you don't have to. You don't have to. Okay, so next question is, do I have to play in first person mode? Again, it's sort of like skips, yes and no. You'll notice that in a lot of my runs, I do not play in first person mode. I'll usually do Grace's first 2 sections first person, then switch over to third person. And then I'll only switch her into first person for like particular parts, such as like putting the med injector into the chef, because it's a lot easier. Same with Leon, I'll keep him in third person mode for the vast majority of it, but there are particular skips where I will, or particular glitches that you can do, that I will utilize first person mode for. First person mode is a lot easier in terms of movement and navigating zombies and just being more accurate with how you're picking up items as well too. And there's also a lot of glitches that you can do, such as like, a lot of the skips do require first person, but do you have to do it? No. If you're just doing it strictly for fun, you don't care about the leaderboards, don't worry about doing it. Don't pick it up. It's not that big of a deal. So for this next question, this one's more of a legit like speedrun question, which is, how do I start speedrunning? Very good place to start is by trying to get Speed Demon achievement. But then like once you do that, for example, I would say probably look around and see what category that you want to run. The runs are naturally split into two different categories already. So for example, intro and no intro. So no intro is exactly that. Instead of doing Leon and Grace's Renwood intros, you actually skip straight to Grace with lighter in hand on a save in the hospital, and that's where you would start the run. And I'll even show a video up here exactly what part I'm talking about. Now with intros, obviously you do all the intros, and it just kind of depends on what you want to do. If you don't feel like doing those intros, then don't do them. If you feel like doing the intros, then do them. I personally prefer doing intros, but that's just because I just like it. So then once you kind of decided that if you want to go through no intro or intro, then that's whenever you're going to have to pick your like actual category. So for example, if you just want to have some wild fun and shoot everything with infinite ammo and use a rocket launcher, you can do any percent, which is exactly that. You can use the rocket launcher, you can use infinite ammo, and you're just going to get from the start of the game to the beginning of the game as quickly as possible. And it's mostly just a lot of pathing. Now there's some tech here and there, but Again, that's a good run if you don't want to have to learn too many skips. You can do it because guess what? Everything will die by rocket launcher. And then once you kind of figure out what you want to play, then that's whenever you're going to want to probably pick up a couple tools to help you out. If you're on PC, pick up Live Split. It'll allow you to very, very easily track in real time. It won't show you in game time, but it'll show you real time how fast you're currently doing sections. Even more of a helpful mod is RE Framework. Now let's say that you have picked your category. You said, all right, I'm going to do intros. I'm going to do new game plus casual. And I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to play in first person mode. I'm going to learn all the skips. Where do you go from there? Start from the very beginning of the game and start sectioning things off. Section it off into a manner to where I said, okay, I am going to spawn in this Grace. I am going to go talk to the girl, grab the west key, and I am going to ascend up so that I can go grab the red jewel, the first door fragment, and then I'm going to go back downstairs to grab the east wing key, and that's going to be my first section that I'm going to practice. And I did that for a little bit, learn the pathing, learn any possible skips in there. Once you do that, you do the same thing with like the east wing. It's like, okay, I'm going to go up there, I'm going to grab the level 1 security bracelet, I'm going to do chunk skip, and then I'm going to grab the second door fragment, and then I'm going to head back downstairs so that I can go to the west wing again, and then that's whenever you would want to section it off right there as well too. But that's it for this video though. Those are the most commonly asked questions that I get. If you guys like to enjoy it, if you guys like the video, please thumbs up and like it. If you didn't like the video, let me know. And thank you everyone for watching. See you later.